1 minute later, this man will ignite the entire scene with an Audi car key. All those who mocked him will become his sycophantic lackeys. Rewind half an hour. He was just a driver smoking 7.5 yuan worth of double happiness cigarettes. The man's name is Zhang Long. He owns 51% of a leading local company, receiving an annual dividend of 1.88 million yuan, but he chose to work as his second uncle's driver, keeping his identity a secret. All of this stemmed from a humiliation that plagued his entire youth. In 5th grade, a paternity test report tore his family apart. His father left for distant lands, and his mother disappeared overnight. He became an orphan, surviving on the meager monthly allowance sent by his second uncle, who was serving in the army. Because of poverty, he was ragged, isolated, and bullied by his classmates and developed depression. In high school, he had a crush on Zhou Qing, the class beauty, but felt utterly inferior. He knew that someone like him was unworthy of her attention. One day, he accidentally knocked Zhou Qing's pen to the ground. He tried to pick it up, but was publicly humiliated by Wu Yunfeng, a rich second-generation heir, and shoved into the trash can along with the pen. Zhou Qing simply tossed out a cold, "I don't want the pen anymore." These words, like a thorn, pierced Zhang Long's heart. He picked up the pen, vowing to make something of himself and return it to her with dignity. He dropped out of school to work, experiencing countless hardships. An act of bravery earned him 100,000 yuan in startup capital. He partnered with his retired uncle to found Pinnacle Garment Factory. The former poor boy had transformed into a hidden tycoon. That day, downstairs at his company, he saw Zhou Qing, who had come for a job interview. He wanted to approach her, but hesitated. He feared she had already forgotten him. Just then, news arrived of his high school teacher appreciation banquet. He decided to attend and fulfill this wish. At the banquet entrance, Wu Yunfeng was showing off his newly bought Honda Accord to Zhou Qing, dreaming of one day driving an Audi A6. They saw a real Audi A6 parked nearby, and Wu Yunfeng immediately went over, trying to curry favor with the owner through the one-way window. But he didn't know that sitting inside was Zhang Long, whom he looked down upon. At the banquet, the real show began. Wu Yunfeng took out a 75 yuan pack of Zhonghua cigarettes, looking disdainfully at the 7.5 yuan pack of double happiness cigarettes in Zhang Long's hand. When the teacher learned that Zhang Long worked at Tifeng, he naturally assumed he was a factory worker, his words full of contempt. The crowd gossiped behind his back, making fun of him as a beggar, mocking him for wanting something beyond his capability. Only Zhou Qing stood up for him. Wu Yunfeng even offered to give Zhang Long a job as a driver. Just then, Wu Yunfeng noticed the Audi car keys on Zhang Long's desk. He assumed it was a lighter and made a sarcastic remark. Zhang Long didn't speak. He simply pressed the key. Outside the door, the Audi A6 responded crisply. The entire room fell silent. Wu Yunfeng's smile froze on his face. He couldn't understand how a penniless slacker who smoked double happiness cigarettes could afford an Audi. Logic began to reorganize. The teacher was the first to react. With such power and being in Tifeng, he could only be the mysterious controlling shareholder. Instantly, the tide turned. The students who had just been mocking him were now scrambling to curry favor. The teacher forgot his earlier admonition and excitedly asked him his name. Zhang Long looked at that hypocritical face and slowly uttered 2 words. He was the one they called the stinking beggar, who should have been in the trash can long ago. Zhang Long.